Hello friends, so here I am going to explain you about the cooling and humidification processes. So cooling and humidification process. So cooling and humidification process is one type of air conditioning process. So to understand the concept clearly, the cooling and humidification, first you need to understand what is cooling and a representation of cooling process on psychrometric chart. Similarly, you need to understand humidification and representation of this process on psychrometric chart. So the representation and concept of sensible cooling and cooling both are same. So concept of cooling and humidification already we studied in the previous video lectures. So click on this link and understand what is the representation, change in the properties of the air during cooling and humidification, so that this topic will become easy for you to understand. Now to understand cooling and humidification, first I will take one small simple sketch. Here is one sketch I have taken, one pipe. Here atmospheric air or air is flowing. So point number 1 here, so it is unsaturated air. So point number 1 is unsaturated air. So when unsaturated air is there, what does it mean is it has insufficient amount of water. So to make it saturated, we need to supply water content, or we need to supply vapor. So supply of vapor or addition of vapor is humidification. And at the same time, now the temperature of the air is more. What is the temperature now? The TDB at point number 1. Dry bulb temperature at point number 1 is TB1, and the moisture content at point number 1 is omega 1. And similarly, the relative humidity at point number 1 is phi 1. Okay, now this unsaturated air at point number 1 inlet, it passes through the humidifier, because I need to increase the moisture content because it is unsaturated air. So now I will consider here one humidifier to make it saturated. I will consider one humidifier here. So to the humidifier I will supply water. So water, so when water passes through the humidifier, here I will inject these water droplets and mix with air. Here it's mixing. Okay, and these water droplets mix with air, and initially the temperature of the air is more. The temperature of the air is more than the water, and this high temperature air mix with water and cooling takes place. Here is a cooling. So simultaneously humidification is also there as well as cooling is also there. The temperature of the air is decreasing, and at the same time you are injecting water to the air because unsaturated air is here. So addition of water is called humidification, and decreasing the temperature of the air is called cooling. Now this unsaturated air absorbs water and it will become saturated at point number 2. Here it is, I will write saturated air. Okay, now what is the moisture content at point number 2? It is omega 2. And what is the temperature at point number 2? That is dry bulb temperature at point number 2, dB2 notation. And similarly the relative humidity is phi 2 in percentage. Now we will write the properties. In point number 1 is more or point number 2 is more, like that. So at point number 1 the temperature is more. So temperature, that is a dry bulb temperature at point number 1 is more than at point number 2 because it high temperature unsaturated air. And when mixed with water, cooling takes place. so temperature reduces. So in TD1 reduced to TDB2, I have written here. And initially at point number 1 the moisture content is less. For that reason only you are adding the water. If the moisture content is more, then no question of saying humidification. That will become dehumidification, removing of water vapor. So here at point number 1 the moisture content is less. You are adding the water and increasing the moisture content or water vapor inside the air, and it become outside. The air is coming outside. So point number 2, the water content is more than point number 1. Omega 2 will be more than omega 1. And the relative humidity depends upon the water vapor, and here water vapor is less. Obviously the value of phi 1 is less than phi 2. So phi 2 is more than phi 1, or phi 1 is less than phi 2, both are same. Okay, now these three properties we will represent on psychrometric chart. So I will take one psychrometric chart here. This is the layout of psychrometric chart. So in this layout, the horizontal line x-axis represent dry bulb temperature, and the vertical line indicates moisture content. Moisture content is nothing but, it is also called water vapor. Amount of water vapor in kg, 1 kg of air. That is what omega, the omega value. What is omega means? Amount of water vapor in 1 kg of air. It is also called specific humidity, or it is also called, one more word, relative ratio of humidity, or humidity ratio. Now locate point number 1. Here point number 1, the temperature is more but moisture content is less. So somewhere I will locate point number 1 here. So here the temperature is more, that is point number 1, TDB1, and the moisture content is less, omega 1. Now so the process is going from place 1 to point 1 to point 2. So during point 2 the cooling takes place, temperature should decrease. Temperature at point number 2 should decrease and moisture content should increase. You have to draw in such a way that both are here. This is point number 2. Here this is the new temperature at point number 2. Dry bulb at point number 2. Here the temperature is decreases. Here is the minimum value and here is the maximum value. So temperature is decreasing from high temperature to low temperature, that is cooling is there. At the same time the water content here, that is omega 2. So omega 2 is increasing. Initially the omega value is less, now increase it to omega 2 value. So this process is called cooling and humidification process. Now if I ask you to measure or determine enthalpy at point number 1 and point number 2, how will you take the enthalpy at point number 1 and point number 2 is, this is enthalpy line in the psychrometric chart. Here will be some readings, some values of enthalpy. Okay, now if I ask you to take the value of enthalpy at point number 1, so enthalpy lines will be represented by inclined straight lines. So here same, I will continue this, extend this line up to the enthalpy line. This is H1, enthalpy at point number 1. Similarly, what is enthalpy at point number 2? Same as H2. So during cooling and humidification process, during cooling and humidification, the enthalpy is also same. H1 is equal to H2. Okay, and if I ask you to calculate wet bulb temperature, this is wet bulb temperature line on the saturation line. So wet bulb temperature is also same. Here, for example, here the temperature is 70 degree. So at point number 2, the wet bulb temperature is 70, and point number 1 is also same. Now this is the representation of cooling and humidification process. So this will be asked for some 10 marks. It is also called evaporative cooling. This process is also called evaporative cooling. So now next topic we will discuss that new topic, that is called cooling and dehumidification process. The next topic is cooling and dehumidification process. So here the cooling and at the same time dehumidification process are taking parallelly at a time in the air. As I told you in the previous video lectures, dehumidification and as well as humidification process will not be conducted practically. It is not possible. The reason is, so during the humidification as well as dehumidification process, it will be very difficult to maintain the temperature of the air constant, because during the process temperature of the air should be constant. So it is difficult to maintain the temperature of the air constant during the process. So that is the reason humidification and dehumidification will not be carried out separately, and always it could accompanied with either cooling or heating. If dehumidification process is accompanied with heating, the process called heating and dehumidification. Here we are accompanied with cooling, so this process is called cooling and dehumidification. So it is sensible cooling or cooling, both are same. Sensible heating or heating, both are same. Now cooling and dehumidification process, again we will discuss with one small sketch, one rough sketch I will draw. Here is one pipe I have taken. Here this is the point number 1. Here air is flowing, air is passing through the pipe. Now as the name indicates, it is cooling is there. So cooling takes place means the temperature of the air should be more first. Here dry bulb temperature TB1, and the water content is omega 1, and the relative humidity is phi 1. These are the three properties at inlet. Now to remove the water content, that is called dehumidification process. Here we need to cool the temperature of the air. Simultaneously you have to remove the water content. Here the water content at point number 1 is more. That is the reason you are doing dehumidification process. Now this high temperature and high moisture content air is passed to the evaporator cooling. Here one cooling arrangement is done. You take, this is cooling coil. So into a cooling coil, one thing you need to remember is the temperature of the air, that is dry bulb temperature of the air, should be less than the dew point temperature. The reason is, so the moisture content in the atmospheric air will condense to liquid when the temperature of the air will become less than dew point temperature. Same concept I explained you in the dehumidification process, the previous lecture. So if you have any doubts, you click this link and understand the dehumidification process. So it will become easy for you people to understand here cooling and dehumidification. So here for dehumidification, or to remove the water content from this air, the temperature of the air should be less than dew point temperature. Then the air will start to condense to liquid, and that those liquid will be connected here outside. And such phenomenon you might have seen in leakage of water in the air conditioning in the cinema hall or in the auditorium or in your home split air conditioner. Sometimes there will be leakage of water. So that is reason behind this. There is a dehumidification process is going on. So at outlet, when all air water vapor condensed to liquid, only the air will come outside. That is point number 2. So at point number 2, it is air out, here is air in. Point number 1 is in, point number 8 out. So here the omega 2 is moisture content, and temperature is dry bulb temperature at point number 2, and the relative humidity is 5.2. Now, so omega value, that is moisture content at point number 2, will be less than point number 1 because dehumidification has happened. Dehumidification means removal of water vapor. So omega 2 will be less than omega 1, or omega 1 is greater than omega 2. And cooling as then, so dry bulb temperature at point number 2 is less than dry bulb temperature at point number, because the temperature of the air is decreases. When it is coming outside, the temperature of the air also decreases. Initially the temperature is more than at outlet. Understood? Now this process will represent in psychrometric chart. Okay, here I will write condensate. Condensation is going on here. Condensate. One point you remember, the condensation of water vapor from the air takes place when they achieved this condition, when the temperature of the air will become less than dew point temperature. Then the liquid vapor from the air starts condensing and condense to liquid, and those liquid will be collected in somewhere here and you will take outside later. Okay. So what is the definition of dew point? Already we discussed in the previous classes. Dew point temperature is the temperature at which the condensation of water vapor takes place. That is the reason same fundamental applies here. Now I will represent this cooling and dehumidification in psychrometric chart. This is the layout of psychrometric chart. So at point number 1, it is a high moisture content, because moisture content is more, at the same time temperature is also more. Moisture content is more, omega 1 is more, and temperature is also more. So that is the reason I have represented here omega 1. Temperature is more here. Dry bulb temperature at point number 1. Now the process starts from point number 1 to point number 2, that is cooling and dehumidification. So this cooling and dehumidification process will be represented by inclined line. So 1 to 2 cooling is there, that is dry bulb temperature at point number 2, that is cooling, increase. This is minimum value and here is maximum value. Here the temperature is more, cooling takes place, temperature is less here, and here the omega value initially it is high, it is decreasing to lower value. So this is the representation of cooling and humidification process in psychrometric chart. So on the y-axis it is moisture content omega, and on the x-axis it is dry bulb temperature, and here enthalpy line will be represented. So if I ask you to calculate enthalpy at point number 2, I will represent this is H2 value and this is H1 value, H2, H1. If I ask you to calculate amount of heat released during the cooling process, amount of heat released during cooling and during dehumidification, then Q, amount of heat released, Q is equal to m dot mass of air multiplied by H1 minus H2, highest enthalpy minus lowest enthalpy. Now in your mind there will be a question where such processes will be used in the air conditioning. And dear students, in the summer air condition, the atmospheric air temperature is more. Just imagine it is a summer season. In the summer season, the temperature of the air is more. Then high temperature, we will be feeling uncomfortable. So we need to reduce the temperature. And at the same time, in the summer season, the humidity is more. The water content in the air is more. We need to remove the water vapor from the air. Same time, we will also reduce the temperature of the air. So this phenomenon will apply. Cooling and humidification will be necessary. So this is also called summer air conditioning process. Summer air conditioning process, because in the summer the temperature of the atmospheric air is more. In the high temperature, for example 40 degree 45 degree Celsius temperature, if it is there, we will feel uncomfortable, we cannot do our work properly. So we need the temperature of the atmosphere, surrounding temperature should be 25 to 27 degrees Celsius on an average. So reduce the temperature from 45 to 25, so cooling to be necessary. And in the summer season, moisture content in the air will be more, that is water vapor content will be more. So we need to remove the water content, so that is dehumidification we have to do. So cooling and dehumidification is necessary in the summer air conditioning processes. So this is the concept of cooling and dehumidification process. But same time, in the winter air conditioning, which process will you apply? In the winter air conditioning, so in the winter atmospheric air temperature is less. In the winter air conditioning, here I will take, in the winter air conditioning, the temperature of the atmosphere air is less. Then low temperature will be feeling comfortable again. So the atmosphere temperature should be approximately 25 to 27. Understood? But in the winter, the temperature of the air is too less. That is 10 degrees Celsius or 12 degrees Celsius. It is uncomfortable for human beings. So to make it to 25 to 27, we need to heat. And at the same time, in the winter air conditioning, the moisture content in the air is less. So we need to do humidification. So in that case, in the winter air conditioning, we need to do heating and humidification. Heating and humidification process in the winter air conditioning. But here it is cooling and dehumidification in the summer air conditioning. So thank you so much for watching this video. In the next video lecture, we will discuss the adiabatic mixing of two fluids. So I will stop here. So take care. Bye bye.